Now, apparently, Australia is going to be banning all social media for anyone under the age of 16. And this is honestly fantastic news, in my opinion, because children being exposed to social media has been causing a lot of problems for them. I mean, social media, when a child is using social media, they have access to unlimited information and unlimited content that they are nowhere near mature enough to understand and to make sense of it, because children have developing minds, and when they're young and their minds are growing, they you need to be careful about what children are exposed to. I mean, that's why there's a lot of limitations on what children are allowed to be exposed to, allowed to do when they're young. But social media doesn't have any of those restrictions, unfortunately. I mean, it's hard to place those restrictions on them. And this is having a really bad effect on children's mental health. I mean, it's honestly having a bad effect on everyone, grown adults even. I mean, we all know about doom scrolling and brain rot and using different apps and how much problems they are causing. But this is honestly even more damaging to children. I mean, apparently, a lot of children have having difficult being social now because they're always online and not be meeting any friends in person. That's having an effect on their health, mental health. And then there's also the effects of uh, getting all this information easily, and they're not them have not to use their brains to actually work hard to get the information. So their brains are not working, and so yeah, not a lot of development of mental skills, I guess, thinking skills, I guess, and that's a problem. And apparently, in some countries, children are having a difficult time learning because of this, because the information's apparently too easy to access. Now, this is not a direct link to anything, but social media is huge around the world, especially among young children. Everyone's using social media and phones, and it kind of became a huge trend a few years ago. And now the children are affected are having a lot of adverse effects because of this. And this is a huge problem that we really need to address, not just in Australia but around the world. There really needs to be guidelines put in place for social media, because this is something new and something that human beings aren't used to. We're not used to seeing everything on a screen all the time, and there needs to we don't know how much damage this can actually do, and we need to wait and find out what's actually not harmful and what might be harmful before implementing it, especially with children. Now, there's already a lot of talk about how much damage AI is going to do to people. I mean, there are a lot of people who just use AI tools just to get the information rather than doing any research themselves. That's causing a lot of problems. And yeah, this is something that we need to be careful about and not just jump into. There needs to be some control on this. And it's not like it's a full control, it's just until they are of a certain age. After that, anyone can do anything they want. I mean, that's how it always was. Children have limitations until they reach the legal age in their respective countries, and that should be applied to this too. Now, unfortunately, even if Australia does ban children from using social media, I'm not sure how they're gonna be able to enforce that, because well, parents could just use their accounts on their phones and just give it to the children to use. That's a problem. There's no way to actually know if the child's using it other than verification of some sort. So enforcing it might be difficult, but at least parents have some control of whether the child might be using it or not. Now a child cannot use it without the parents knowing. That's a step in the right direction, but it's not a foolproof plan yet, because some parents just might not want to the hassle of an annoying child, and they might just be willing to put a phone in front of them to keep them quiet so they can do something else. Unfortunately, that is something that's happening. and it's not a good thing. It's convenient for the parents, but it's not good for the kids. So yeah, this is a step in the right direction, and I honestly think every country should implement this very soon as possible. So yeah, let's see what happens.